ASMR Nation. Don't mind my little bald hands. I'm on a little nail break. They need to get healthy again, so I'm giving them like a week of breathing room. Let's just do a little soft-spoken gum chewing ASMR ramble. I've got my extra long-lasting flavor Bubble Club Classic Bubble, and some ice water. But sorry, I bumped you. We gotta do a little bit of channel maintenance. So let's just get that out of the way. Hello. If you're new here, welcome to my nonsense. If you're old here, welcome back, OGs. If you're new here, please consider hitting subscribe. If you're old here, go double check. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like if you like. Leave a comment. It can be anything related to the video. Hello, a few emojis, anything helps. Hit the notification bell, and as always, I will link my tip jars down yonder in the description box. No pressure whatsoever, but every $1, $2, $5, anything helps. That is what allows me to continue to make content. Follow me over on Instagram, same name over there. I'll link that down below, and as well as my TikTok. My TikTok is not ASMR, it's just regular. Alright, I'll start with explaining what the heck. This is not even that bad compared to yesterday. So, men, maybe you can help me out with this. Women, or anybody, really just anybody can help me out with this. So I have one of these bumps, like they're like a red bump. I have one up here too, right? And I was dermaplaning, which is a lot like shaving. That's why I said like maybe like men with thick beards can help me out with this. If you don't know what dermaplaning is, it's just where you take a razor and you get all the little peach fuzz and dead skin cells off your face, right? And I used to do it like every month and a half or so, but I forgot to do it for a long time. But I was like, oh, I need to exfoliate. My skin was feeling a little, just like the end of summer, So it's time to dermaplane. Well, I was in a hurry, so I'm just like, and it's funny because like even if you don't have facial hair, or you don't think you have facial hair, there's fuzz all over your face, little fuzz. So as you're like scraping, you can see this fuzz come off, and it almost looks like dirt. There is skin cells with it too, but it's kind of gross, but in a cool way. But I have one of these bumps up here, and I wasn't paying attention, and I nicked the little red bump. Now, whatever these things are, they must be very important, because this thing bled for hours, pretty much for the whole entire day. And then at night, I took the Band-Aid off and went to bed, and I still woke up, and there was like a big drip down. So I think I almost lost my life. As of right now, it looks okay if I don't touch it. I had a Band-Aid on it all day yesterday. So if you shave your face and you've ever hit one of these little, if you have one, like first of all, what is that, a cherry angioma? I don't know, because I feel like I have like little tiny red dots all over. But these ones seem a little more aggressive, So I just wanted to explain, like, don't panic. Looks like I'm going to be around for a little bit longer. I think I'm pulling through. But I just got to be careful not to bump it or touch it, because it's very sensitive. Alright, what else? Got a new car. I know, right? Horrible time. Don't have a job. But my bill is actually the insurance's. And I needed a new car. I've been needing one for the last year. I've put a lot of money into my old ride or die. And I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss my old car a lot. I'm not even that into cars, so it wasn't like, it's definitely not like a vanity thing or like it's a necessity thing. The way we worked it out, we both traded in our cars, and so the way we worked it out, we're not in any worse shape financially than we already were. So we're both in new cars, which is kind of cool. Because they're kind of like matching. They're not the same model or anything, but they kind of match. I hate everything about car shopping. I don't know how people get excited about it. I wish I could make myself get excited about it. But I think this goes into like being a neurodivergent. I was already annoyed with just looking, like just driving through lots and looking. And then we were kind of up against if we went longer, we were going to have to fix a few more things on both of our vehicles, you know? So it was like, I was being rushed. I don't like that either. But I didn't want to spend money on cars that we were about to trade in. So we were like, okay, we got to kind of really get serious here. So we finally picked two that made sense, two practical vehicles. And I was already so tired that day. But we had to get both of our cars appraised one at a time. So we were out there picking out the cars, out there talking to them, and then we had to go back home, and my husband had to drive my car out there to get that one appraised just for the trade-in amounts and all that. And then I had to come back when it was ready to really do the deal. So this was a whole day event with a toddler. Ew. Freaking ew. I don't want to be there. If my adult self can't handle this, how's a toddler supposed to be there all day, on and off, you know? He did pretty good, but not good enough. Not drive me crazy. He was trying. I'll give him an E for effort. But then at night, when it was time to, not night, it was I think 6 o'clock, and the guy got off at 7. But my husband had already been there since 5. But he was gonna call me when the paperwork time, you know, so I didn't have to sit there for the extra. Me and the toddler didn't have to sit there for the extra hour. So he calls me. He's like, "Okay, I think everything's ready. Come on out." So I go out there. The guy that's selling the cars, perfect. Greg, ace. No pressure, no nothing, just cool dude. Greg. But I've had icky experiences with the loan signers in the past, and guess what? I had another one. So the loan signer is the paperwork guy, right? Greg's cool paperwork guy, already a little off. Not the last time I bought a car. Both the last times I bought a car, I had icky experience with loan signing guys. But this time, I'm like, okay, let's just, make this as simple as possible. So we're going through sign, and it comes the time where he's trying to sell you the extras, right? The bumper to bumpers, blah, 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 longer time, extended. And we don't want that. And I have plenty of reasons why. I've got it before. No, thank you. It's the first time he proposes the ideas. Or we're like, no, thank you. Oh, no, thank you. And, they do it a few times. And you're like, no, no, no. And then he asks you for reasons why. And I kind of just take over the conversation because I'm like, it's getting late. I don't really have time to get into all the reasons why we just don't want it. And he goes, yeah, I know it's getting late. It's getting late for me too. Yeah, so let's move it along, bud. What do you mean? You're making money. We're spending money. It's like almost, I would never have that comfort level to pressure complete strangers after they've said no. I don't even like the salesy part of my job. I'm not an upseller. I'm just like, you want it? This is what it costs. Don't want it? Bye. Like, cool. This little section of this deal went on for like 10 minutes. I wanted to walk out. My husband's better. He's just like, no, thank you. Like, no, we don't want it. No. And after that, you just don't even want to look at the dude. You're like, this is unreal. This is absolutely unreal. So he finally gets over himself. Well, he has to move on, right? Since it's so late. We finished signing the paperwork. My toddler has screamed in the car the whole way there. He was tired, no nap, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, when I got there, I was like, oh. Got done signing the papers, and then we had to, we still had some stuff in our cars, so we had to take bags and get the stuff out of our cars and move them into the new cars. Meanwhile, my toddler's crying because he's like not understanding what's going on. He's buckled into a car seat, and we're like going from one car to another, and he's tired, blah, blah, blah. So that takes like another hour. So I think it ended up being like 8 o'clock by the time we got out of there. And then, like, being neurodivergent, I don't like learning how to drive a new car. I don't like the way the new seat feels. I don't like the way, like, you don't know how much pressure to put on the gas or the brake. Learning all the little, it was raining a little bit, so I had to do the windshield wiper things. And my toddler screamed the entire way home. My husband was still there because he was still doing his transfer of car, whatever. He was screaming the whole way home. Something funny was going on the dash. The Bluetooth wasn't working, even though the guy had just set it up. I was a mess. By the time I got home, I was crying. And I was so mad because I was like, why can't I ever have a nice freaking experience? So many people can go get a new car and they're driving it home and they're like, ooh, feeling good. And here I am feeling the worst. Can't enjoy it at all. Toddler's still screaming back there. I just sat in the parking lot crying until my husband came home and pulled my toddler out of the car. And I sat in there and cried for like another 5 minutes. And I kind of got it together, but not really. I was like, I hate everything. Everything. I'm not even enjoying, because like I said, it's not for vanity reasons or anything. I don't really care what a car looks like or anything like that. So I'm just like, I find nothing pleasant about. And I know I'll get there. I'll get there to where I'm enjoying my new car. But in that moment, I was like, I can't ever do that. I'm just going to ride bikes. Simple bikes. I hate cars. I hate car buying. I hate dashboards. I hate gas pedals. I hate it all. Since then, I've figured most of it out. Okay. I'm still having trouble with the Bluetooth, which pisses me the fuck off. Because, first of all, anything not working, any kind of like inconvenience or frustration is so big to me. It's so big to me. I just want to get in my car and listen to my podcast. I just want to get in my car and listen to my music, or I just want to get in my car and continue where I left off on my audiobook, When I get in my car and something's not, and then Bluetooth isn't working, and I know I have like a half-hour drive or a 2-hour drive, I'm like, no, I cannot sit here. And I know that sounds so spoiled, like, ew, I don't want to listen to the car radio. But it takes so much for me just to be okay. Like, things need to run smooth, especially when you just spend a ton of money. That's an extra annoyance, because, like, you just spent a ton of money. Or, signed off on this, however many years. You just want it to be smooth, Also, this car has, like, a lane departure feature that I need to turn off, because I lane depart on purpose. And it almost, like, it doesn't just alert you. Like, it would be fine if it just alerted me that I was lane departing. But it, like, pulls me back in. Now, I'm an anxiety person, right? So when I pass semis, I ride towards the outside. I like to give a wide berth for semis, especially the way semis have been driving the past couple of years. I'm on the road a lot. I've been liking what I've been seeing. Anyways, I like to go ahead and just be kind of on that outside line, not on the but close. And this lane departure feature is, like, sucking me back, and it feels like it's just sucking me right into the semis. So whatever I gotta do, hopefully I can turn it off. I don't know that I'll ever get used to that. Especially when you're passing a semi in the rain and all that water is like, or a semi's passing you. I don't know. I also have to organize. All the stuff I pulled out of my car is just, like, sitting in bags in the garage. I'm like, it's just daunting. Like, what do I really need to keep in the new vehicle? I don't want it to accumulate like the last vehicle did. But it's hard and I'm not working that much anymore, so I don't need as much in my car. I used to be working overnights, like, out of town. And your car tends to get a little bit of, like, a mobile apartment when you're doing that, But now I won't be out of town that much, so hopefully I can just keep the necessities and, like, always keep emergency stuff in your car. I think you can tell a lot about a person by if they have jumper cables or not. Not even if they know how to use them, because I don't know how to do that, but I know how to just be like, does anybody here know how to use jumper cables? Just to have a pair of jumper cables in your car says a lot about you, because it's not even just about me. I don't know when I'm going to be somewhere and somebody's going to be like, does anybody have jumper cables? I do. Me, anxiety girl. Go ahead and use them. I can't help you use them. I don't know. You can use my car as a power source, and you can use the jumper cables. That's all I got. I know. It's not hard. I know it's not hard. I should probably figure it out. I'm sure it's just a YouTube away. But as long as I have satellite, I guess in an emergency I could just watch the YouTube as I needed it. And I've drove beaters for a long time. I probably drove beaters from 16 all the way to 30. I've been through a lot of cars. Carho. My Carfax has a reputation. So other than that, like the last time I was up there, I had to clean out my suite. And it was kind of sad because I've been there for almost a decade. Well, not in that suite. We were at another location. I've been with that group for almost a decade, but really there's only 2 people there that were there when I started. So I'll really miss them. And then a couple of the new girls that I talked to, I'll miss them, but I have them on social media, so it's not like it used to be when you're leaving somewhere and you're like, oh my god, I'm never gonna see this person again. We'll see. I'll see them on social media, and I'll still be up there once in a great while. I still have to message the owner. I'm paid up all the way to the end of the month, and I like have anxiety about messaging the owner because I'm month to month. I'm just letting her know, like, okay, I'm out if you want to show the room. I don't know if she has any idea. Like, I don't talk to her. I never see her. But whatever. It's just business. It's business, and it had to be done, and I can't work just to pay off, a suite. So anyway, my brand new car was filled like wall to wall with all this stuff from my work suite. I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like, I just want to enjoy this nice new car smell and it's spacious and everything's clean. And now I just threw a whole bunch of crap in it. But anyway, on my way out, because I still have family up there, I visited my brother with my godson. And I stopped over there and he had made chili. My brother can cook, okay? He had made chili, so I stopped over there, had a bowl of chili, got to visit with my godson, who's the sweetest, and he had just went to a monster truck show. So he was telling me all about his monster truck show. And he had like this little surgical kit. It was kind of scary. He got it at the zoo and it was supposed to be like an elephant surgery kit or something. I'm like, what? What on earth? But it had like a little shot in there, like little scissors. Nothing worked. It was all like little plastic like molds. But anyway, he was hilarious and we sat outside for a little bit. And there was like some cigarette butts out there. And I was like, who's smoking? Because my brother really doesn't smoke and he's like me. And I was like, dude, I've been wanting to start smoking again too. Seriously. Like I chief. Okay, we'll call it chief. I chief. But like I've been wanting to pick up a cigarette. Not an electric, like a freaking cigarette. And I think I talked about this before, but I read this quote or this line in a fiction book a long time ago. I cannot remember the specific book, but it was like, it's sad, but like let's just, we've all lost relatives to cigarettes. So but here's what the thing was. Once you commit to letting cigarettes kill you, they will be there for you. And I was like, I'll be damned if that isn't the truth. Like so many of my relatives, older relatives, they knew. They knew. And we'd have the talk and they'd be like, yeah, I know. But that is a truth. Once you commit to letting cigarettes kill you, they will be there for you. And I'm like, that's why I've been wanting to pick up a damn cigarette. Like, I am so stressed out lately. But I'm not going to. I was like, just try not to smoke more than like one a day, brother. Okay? He's like, I'm trying. But I was like, but I get it. I've been wanting to pick up a pack too. I haven't smoked since since smoking was allowed at bars. So, back in my drinking day, but even before that, because smoking you just used to smoke as you drank at bars. It's weird to think about that now. Bars were just smoky. You would stink so bad after a night out. So it's been since like my mid-20s or something, since I've smoked. And it would make me feel awful if I did, but a few months ago when I was on this, like, I need something to smoke that's not like chiefing, I looked up Amazon. I was like, maybe there's something else I can smoke. Like, I just want to smoke something. And so I searched like healthy cigarettes, like non-nic, and there were a few options. I was like, wow, I used to pay that for a pack of real ones, because obviously everything's went up. But I was like, maybe I'll get a pack of these like healthy smokes and just see what it's like. And I used to smoke some cool cigs. Like back in the day we had like those long skinny ones were fun, and then they had the, like flavored ones, so they were cigs with like these little flavor crystals. I'm sure that was terrible, but they were like flavored crystal cigs. I miss those. Anyway, that's just a thing of the past, and if I start smoking now, I'm going to just try those like healthy smokes. I just want to like sit out on my back porch and just be like in a robe, like in a shower cap, like and then just chuck it like I think that would be very therapeutic. Very mommy's fireworks. That's what my son calls it when I go out for like a smoke break. He's like, mommy's fireworks. Whatever. So anyway, that is just my little split head, open ASMR, blah, 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 totally eclectic ramble of the day. If you are still there watching, thank you very much. Love it when you guys watch it at the end. For whatever reason, YouTube really loves it. So, I hope that you have a good rest of your day, rest of your evening, and or a good night's sleep, and I will see y'all real soon.